After Indonesia and China, Singapore, UK and Australia have grounded the operations of all Boeing 737 MAX 8 jets. So as things currently stand, 25 airlines across 12 countries will not fly this aircraft. The move comes after the aircraft suffered a second fatal crash within a span of 4 months. 157 people were killed on Sunday when an Ethiopian Airlines Boeing MAX 8 jet crashed soon after takeoff. The incident is reminiscent of yet another tragedy on the 29th of October 2018 when 189 people died in a Lion Air jet crash in Indonesia. Back home in India, the aviation regulator has not grounded the Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft just yet, but has issued additional safety instructions. US and Europe have also not grounded these jets just yet. Anu Sharma joins us now with more updates. Anu, several countries and several airlines have decided to preemptively ground the 737 MAX 8 jets. How is the company responding?
Boeing is under extreme stress right now because the UK and Oman are the latest countries which have banned the MAX flights from their airspace. Remember earlier today, Singapore and Australia had also issued orders to suspend 737 MAX operations in their airspace until they receive more information from Boeing or the US aviation regulator FAA in this regard. Now, overall, there are around 27 airlines across 15 nations, including China, Indonesia, which have suspended MAX operations, leading to grounding of 154 such planes, basically meaning that globally almost 42% of MAX fleet has been taken out of operations. That will naturally lead to a lot of flight cancellations and disruptions in the aviation space. The safety concerns, unavailability of sufficient information from Boeing and the absence of a reason for 2 fatal accidents in the same aircraft model within a span of under 5 months has certainly triggered safety concerns among various countries and airlines. And remember, 737 MAX is the fastest selling model of Boeing with over 4,700 orders. Now, India still has not taken a call on grounding of these planes, and 12 MAX planes of SpiceJet still continue to fly in the skies. But looks like the pressure is mounting and airlines, countries and passengers are awaiting a certain kind of strong assurance from Boeing or the Federal Aviation Administration in this regard. Back to you.
Anu, appreciate you joining us. So as Anu was pointing out, several countries and several airlines have decided to temporarily ground the Boeing MAX 787-8, but US President Donald Trump has now weighed in on this issue. He's joined the debate just a short while ago on Twitter. He's tweeted, and I quote, "Airplanes are becoming far too complex to fly. Pilots are no longer needed, but rather computer scientists from MIT. I see it all the time in many products, always seeking to go an unnecessary step further when often old and simpler is far better. Split-second decisions are needed and the complexity creates danger. All of this for great cost, yet very little gain. I don't know about you, but I don't want Albert Einstein to be my pilot. I want great flying professionals that are allowed to easily and quickly take control of a plane." End of quote. Well, that's Donald Trump tweeting on the Boeing controversy. We'll continue to track that story. But for now, the other big headline tonight. Uday Kotak, the promoter of Kotak Mahindra Bank, today told the Bombay High Court that it was not easy to dilute promoter stake in the bank and meet the Reserve Bank norms. Therefore, Kotak's lawyers offered to cap promoters voting at 20% till May 2020. However, the Reserve Bank, we understand, has opposed the offer and the court has in fact rejected it. The court also adjourned the hearing till the 1st of April. Yash joins us now with more on this. So Yash, Kotak Mahindra presenting a proposal, but the court saying no can do.
Well, absolutely, Shireen, and it's certain that for now it will take a little longer. It will require a little wait when it comes to hearing and resolution on the merits of the case is concerned. But as far as today's hearing is concerned, essentially the Reserve Bank of India was expected to file its reply in the form of an affidavit. This reply was to Kotak Mahindra Bank's counsel stand when it comes to the entire mechanism of issuance of non-convertible preference shares when it comes to dilution of stake to 20%, the promoter stake to 20% from the current 30%. That is the stake held by Uday Kotak. That was taken on record, but a very brief argument from Uday Kotak's, Kotak Mahindra Bank's counsel, but a very powerful and important argument. Harish Salve, appearing for Kotak Mahindra Bank, said that it's not simple for the promoter to dilute a stake in the bank, which is a very strong portion in terms of, the quantity of that particular particular stake. But as a suggestion, what came from the council is that what can be looked at is that the voting rights of the promoter can be capped at equivalent to 20% of the stake held by that promoter in this bank, which is Kotak Mahindra Bank. To which the judge, Justice Oak, very categorically said that it's not that simple. And I'm quoting it here as is. Now, separately, we are also picking up from some of our sources in the legal team of the Reserve Bank of India that RBI would also not be very much comfortable when it comes to agreeing to a suggestion like this, when it comes to capping the voting rights. For them, it's very simple. The rationale that I'm picking up is that the whole contention is the shareholding, the concentration of the shareholding pattern when it comes to Uday Kotak shareholding in Kotak Mahindra Bank, and capping voting rights is not the solution. So, of course, they would be focusing as far as how that shareholding can be reduced and not capping the voting rights, because essentially capping the voting rights would not lead to transfer of those voting rights to another shareholder who buys that shareholding, but it will just lead to that particular portion of voting rights getting exhausted from that entire pie. So this is both sides and how they look at this particular suggestion. But of course, as you rightly pointed out, the matter has been deferred or adjourned till April 1st, when of course it will be very interesting to see if Kotak Mahindra Bank presses the same suggestion of capping the voting rights again, and if and how RBI really expresses its reservation on that particular suggestion.
All right, Yash, appreciate you joining us with that. So next development on the 1st of April. But action on the Lal Street. Markets surging for the second consecutive day today. The Nifty closing well above 11,300. The Sensex ended above 37,500. Both indices up by over 1%. Broader markets rising in line with the benchmarks. In the process, the Nifty Bank hit a record high for the first time since August last year to end close to 2% in the green. Mid-caps ended 0.5% higher as well. But the twin macro data of the month, retail inflation showed a slight uptick in the month of February, and the industrial output for the month of January dipped to 1.7%. Lata with us now with her analysis on both. Lata.
Yes, that's right. The inflation number has come in at 2.57 compared to a poll of 2.37. Now, what is most important about this number is for the past 6 months, inflation numbers were repeatedly undershooting our poll numbers. That is what the street was expecting. After many months, we have an inflation number which is slightly higher than what economists were expecting, which itself is a relief because severe disinflation appears to have stopped. That is very obvious in food. Last month, that is for January, food disinflation was over 2.5%. That is, prices contracted by 2.5% in year-on-year terms. February prices, food prices are still lower than February of 2018, but it is only minus 0.6%. So it's more or less stable. One hopes the severe disinflation in food is over. The other important number to watch out for is core inflation, which is non-food, non-fuel part of inflation is called core. That basically services inflation. There you're actually seeing a spike, especially in education and health. Both have come in over 8%. So the overall core inflation has stands at 5.35% compared to between 5.2 and 5.3% in January. There is a slight uptick in core inflation. Given this combination, the expectation is that the Reserve Bank will cut rates in April. After all, the monetary policy target is 4% and current inflation stands at 2.57. So there will be a cut, but it will be just 125 basis cut, not a 50 basis cut. That's what experts are expecting. Very quickly on IIP, the January output number is quite pathetic, and it was expected to be that way at 1.7%. Capital goods have contracted by 3.2%. Consumer goods, durables, just 1.8%. Non-durables, just 3.8%. But this was on expected lines. We all know that the January car sales was poor, power output was bad. So this doesn't come as a shock. It's just a bad number.
All right, it's just another number. Thanks, Lata, for joining us with that. Now, the big political headline. The Congress has sounded the poll bugle from Gujarat, where the party held a crucial meeting to finalize its manifesto for the Lok Sabha polls. The Congress has accused Prime Minister Modi of exploiting the issue of national security to divert attention from what it calls his colossal failures. The party has also slammed the NDA, claiming that it inflicted pain on people with demonetization and GST.
ये विचारधारा की लड़ाई है। एक तरफ नफरत, गुट से, दूसरी तरफ प्यार, महात्मा गांधी और गुजरात का इतिहास। और जीत महात्मा गांधी की होगी, प्यार की होगी, भाईचारे की होगी, कांग्रेस पार्टी की होगी, गुजरात की होगी।
Well, that's Rahul Gandhi, and Priyanka Gandhi delivered her maiden political speech today addressing a public rally in Gandhinagar. The newly appointed Congress General Secretary is also in charge of UP East, took potshots at Prime Minister Modi, urging people not to get distracted by what she calls are needless issues.
आप जागरूक बने, आपकी जागरूकता एक हथियार है, आपका वोट एक हथियार है। जो आपके सामने बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं, बड़े बड़े वादे करते हैं, उनसे पूछिए जो 2 करोड़ रोजगार उन्होंने आपको, जिनका उन्होंने आपको वचन दिया था, वो रोजगार कहाँ हैं? उनसे पूछिए कि जो 15 लाख आपके खाते में आने थे, वो 15 लाख कहाँ गए?
Well, the Congress making it clear that it does intend to focus on the mismanagement, or what it calls is the mismanagement of the economy, as the key election narrative. Now, Patidar leader Hardik Patel has joined the Congress party ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. Remember, Patel was the face of the Patidar quota agitations in Gujarat, also played a crucial role as an ally of the Congress during the last assembly elections in the state. While Hardik Patel may have joined the Congress, former Lok Sabha MP from West Bengal, Deepa Das Munshi, may quit the party. Sources tell Network 18 that she's likely to join the BJP. The former Lok Sabha MP is believed to be miffed with the state Congress decision to not contest from the Raiganj seat as a gesture of goodwill to the CPM. Mohammad Salim of the CPM is the sitting MP in Raiganj. Also in West Bengal, expelled Trinamool MP Anupam Hazra has joined the BJP. Hazra had won the 2014 Lok Sabha election from the Bolpur constituency. He was expelled from the TMC on the 9th of January for anti-party activities. West Bengal Chief Minister and Trinamool Supremo Mamata Banerjee has released her party's candidate list for the 42 Lok Sabha constituencies today. 41% of the nominees in the list are women. These include actors Nusrat Jahan, Mimi Chakrabarti. Veteran actor and sitting MP Munmun Sen will contest from Asansol. 10 sitting lawmakers have been dropped. Story, Theresa May could be staring at yet another defeat over Brexit. The British Parliament is currently debating her new deal, but 2 key allies have already made it clear they will vote against the proposal. This means May could be short on numbers. With the March 29 deadline looming large, UK is either facing a divorce from the European Union without a deal, or it can vote to extend the Brexit deadline. Let's listen into Theresa May speaking in Parliament on that debate.
Or even moving to a second referendum, with all the damage that that would do to trust in our democracy. Equally, there is a risk that having voted for an extension, this House would still not be able to agree a way forward, and we would end up leaving without a deal. And just one moment, I'll give way to the Honourable. If any of these things were to happen, it would be no good blaming the European Union. Responsibility would lie with this House. Our failure to come together in the national interest to deliver on the vote of the British people. I will give way to the Honourable Gentleman and then the Honourable Gentleman.
Yes, I'm extremely grateful for her giving way. The first of her Brexit secretaries is sitting in his place. Time after time after time, he stood at that dispatch box and he promised this House that we would get the exact same benefits after we leave than we currently enjoy with the EU. Does she not accept that raising expectations that high set a level that she has absolutely failed to meet? That has damaged trust in her Brexit. That has caused the situation that we're in now, and we have to find another way forward.
Minister. Say to the Honourable Gentleman that we have set out in the proposals that the government itself put forward a way of ensuring that we maintain a very close economic partnership with the European Union in the future, a close security partnership with the European Union in the future, but that we are also able to have the benefit of acting as an independent country, of being that sovereign state, and of having our own trade deals with other countries around the world. I said I'd give way to the Honourable Gentleman at the back.
Well, that's Theresa May in Parliament. We will, of course, get you the developments on that story. Now, hospitality company Oyo is committing 1,400 crore rupees to expand in India. That's according to the new CEO of the company's India and South Asia operations, Aditya Ghosh. The former president of Indigo spoke exclusively with Saina Denugara about his new innings and his plans for Oyo.
We actually treat both India and China as our two home markets. China actually exceeds India in the sheer number of rooms that it has today. India is a very supply-constrained market. Almost any, business, product, service you look at, the moment you're able to improve the quality of service or improve the quality of the product that you're putting out there, make it more consistent, but are making it more affordable, the market just suddenly expands. This year again, we hope to more than double in size in India.
All right. In terms of number of fully owned leased rooms?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So, Ritesh and I were joking just a short while back that in November, when we announced that I'm coming and joining the journey, we were 143,000 rooms in India.
Yeah.
And today we are 173,000 rooms.
Okay.
So in the last 125 days, we, give or take, we added 30,000 rooms in India.
Right.
Yeah. So 10,000 rooms a month.
Yeah.
So just goes to show how much pent-up demand there is.
Talking about price, let's also talk about the hotel owners,
Yes.
correct? And I know while a couple of bad reviews don't the market make, but give us a sense of, what's in it for the hotel owners who are leasing out these properties to you to manage and run. And what percentage of your business comes now from hotels that you're franchising and leasing out? What are the sort of typical terms for which the lease holds? What are the renewal rates? How many people are kind of renewing those contracts?
You put in money into a land or a building and you can get rental yield of, some minuscule percentage. The real estate market is not in its best of times. So here is a business which overnight starts generating money for you. So what are the 6 areas that we come in and work the most with? First, identifying the property and saying, which is the brand that works best?
Correct.
Second, put in the infrastructure and the capital expenditure in the infrastructure to upgrade the facilities and make it.
Sure.
Third is then bring in trained staff, but at a phenomenally different efficiency ratio than what you would normally do. You have 4 or 5 people per room versus 1.5 to 2 people per room. That happens in the best of hotel chains. Fourth is that do you plug it into a large booking engine, but where we have complete price control. So we are not a marketplace. We do revenue management on all our hotels.
Well, that's Aditya Ghosh there, the new CEO of Oyo, saying that they're adding close to 10,000 rooms a month. With that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of What's Hot. Thanks for watching. Up next, we shift our focus to Dalal Street. Markets surging for the second consecutive session today. The Nifty closed well above 11,300. The Sensex above 37,500. We'll be back again in 30 with India Business Hour.